You're watching Mallrats, a Star Wars podcast. Thank you for listening. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Mallrats podcast. I am Nolan.
And I'm Bob.
Almost said I'm Bob. We're going to be... last week, we started rewatching The Mandalorian, episode 1 and 2.
Correct.
Now we're watching 3 and 4.
Well, that's how numbers work.
Yep.
Yep.
2 at a time.
Now these are just this is just the queuing a running commentary. So these are just as long as what the episodes are. It's not us going into fine detail and analyzing it. It's just you are expected to have seen this already, and if you have seen it, you can probably follow along in your head with what we are presenting.
Just seeing it through our eyes.
Yeah, and then our conversations and just kind of go off sometimes off topic, but it should all be Star Wars influenced and Star Wars based.
Yep.
And at the end of the episode, we will have our social media manager, Kat, show back up. We have a Q&A and then an interesting what if, should something have changed in Star Wars lore, how would it have impacted what we have come to know and love about Star Wars. So just a little what if, like the Marvel TV shows. So that's, stick around for the end, and we'll do that. And we'll get ready to queue up your Disney Plus. So if you are following along, we are going to do a countdown and hit start, play episode at the same time. And hopefully everybody is synced if you are following along.
I don't know how well it works.
What, counting to 3?
Yes, counting to 3.
We went into this.
We went into this last time.
It's not crazy hard.
Should we do it again?
Oh my lord. It's 1, 2, 3.
Go.
Go.
Yes, it's rock, paper, scissors.
Rock,
That's all I'm
paper,
telling you.
scissors, shoot.
Just people don't seem to understand that it's not rock, paper, scissors.
Who are these people?
People just
idiots?
Go exactly. People go on scissors.
How hard is this? Okay, so we should have probably stalled long enough for you to begin it. So we're at the we are logged in. We've hit the play episode, and now we're going to hit play in the count of buffering now. Buffering. Boy, this is riveting radio podcast. Okay, so we are ready to go. You should see Disney on your screen.
Beautiful blue Disney.
Beautiful Disney. And on the count of 3, hit start.
No, on the count of go.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, go. That was a bit behind.
It was a little bit. So we get a bit of a rundown, recap. There's the client. Oh, Baby Yoda again. Okay, so this is the first episode.
3rd.
We're watching the 3rd, but the recap was the 1st. And then, oh yes, how soon we forget.
The Queel timeline.
This was the Jawas, the Queel, the Mudhorn. And so now the Sin is the title of this next one. There's a lot that happened in those first 2 episodes.
A lot of exposition.
But now that we know more about that story, you can see that's what's kind of nice about rewatching certain things. Stuff, comes out, like how Baby Yoda always tries to save him.
Mm-hmm.
And even the first time he's just sitting there with his cut, and he's trying to put out his hand. You're like, what's he doing? Is it just like a little kid or what?
I remember thinking he was just a little kid.
I did too. We didn't know that he had Force abilities or anything until he lifted the Mudhorn up. Right?
Yeah.
So that was the rundown of the first 2 episodes. So now we are, if I remember right, we got to take it back to Navarro.
Yep.
Back to Werner Herzog.
Werner.
And Dr. Pershing.
Dr. Pershing. Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
One of the neat things about how the episodes start in space, I can't really vouch that every episode does,
Nope.
but every episode of a movie starts in outer space with an opening in outer space before they go terrestrial?
I'm trying to think of an exception.
Oh, good luck. How about not right now? All right, Baby Yoda's in the cockpit. Now, last time we saw him, we thought this was when he was getting a ball. He just climbs out, cute as ever. So he's awoken.
Awoke.
The Jedi is awoken.
I found an exception. Rogue One. No, not Rogue One. Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
They start on that planet with Poe talking to the old guy, and he's like, this thing will bring you to blah blah blah. Okay, yes.
Because you see the shuttles launch out.
You see that afterwards.
It's the opening. And plus, every episode movie starts with a crawl, right?
That doesn't count. Whatever. You should have been more specific. Is it just like a cinematic, like a sprawl over the planet?
Just trust me, man. We can go back and just watch the first beat of every movie.
I'm okay with that.
All right. We just missed a lot of cute Baby Yoda stuff, but nimbly he can get out of his crate, just like little babies who could get out of their bassinets. And once they're mobile, watch out, because the kids can get into anywhere. And when you can't hear them and they're quiet, that's when you know they're into something they shouldn't.
I think that reigns true. Always.
Always. All right, coming up on the big archway, he's walking with his quarry. Now I'm sure all those other bounties that have their key fobs,
they'd be going off right now.
Are going to be buzzing. I love the practical nature of all these aliens and actors. It's not CG. And even the CG heavy prequels, they had characters and stuff, but a lot of them were all along a green screen. Here we have a set. We have costumes. I find it really interesting. That's what with the sequel movies, JJ was very adamant about wanting to be practical effects more so than relying just on green screen stuff. That's why when you see the teaser trailer, and it was just stormtroopers in their dropship, like Saving Private Ryan, and they just look so cool and dark and gritty. All right, so he's back at the client now. We got the Jabba droid ball head.
I remember liking this scene. I don't know, just because of one line.
Which one?
This one. It's coming up.
Oh.
It's just, I like those odds.
Oh, I see. A lot of cockiness, arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
You got the really dirty Empire white
hand-me-downs.
No, just dirty. If the Empire was still around, there's no way that their superiors would let them have them be so filthy.
Dr. Persh.
Now, is the client just the middleman for... Well, I guess we don't know Moff Gideon yet.
I'd say probably.
He's not the villain. He's just the procurer, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could say he's a villain, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got an Empire medallion on.
Yeah, and he's handing out Beskar steel.
Yeah. With an Empire stuff on it. Crest. Logo.
Metal.
Imprint.
Something.
Go the spoils. And there is the first Camtono that we see actually used. The other time we saw was in Cloud City, Bespin, when the Empire, is there and Lando tells everybody to evacuate. You see a guy just running in front of the camera briefly, carrying what's been jokingly referred to as like an ice cream maker.
Because it was.
Yeah, well. And now we get to see it open, and it's just loaded with these bars of Beskar. And then Baby Yoda cooing as it leaves the room.
Cam Tono does show up a few other times in like The Marshal and in Book of Boba Fett.
Okay. But this is the first.
I know. I'm just stating.
Okay. Well, of course, they blow up the sanctuary. Yeah.
Yep.
Commission and payment. You've taken both commission and payment. Who are you to ask? It's against the code to ask about what's going to happen to him. Okay, so he's saying that finding a Mandalorian is tricky, but we know that there's a covert underneath that very town.
Maybe he knows.
Mando knows, but this guy doesn't. So they truly are secreted away. So when they have their big reveal, it's like, holy crap, this is insane and unexpected.
There's the Kowakian monkey lizard on a spit again.
Yeah. Just walking through the bazaar, the stairway down to the sewer.
Very clean sewers.
You know, maybe Beskar isn't crazy heavy, but I would think that thing would be massive. You won't guess. You won't believe it. You know the guy, the bald-headed guy in the bar at the opening scene? It's chuta, Mando.
Yeah.
That guy is like a stunt performer, but he is the body man for
Paz Vizsla. Whoa.
Now, I don't know if he is that in Book of Boba when we see him in a fight.
Who does his voice?
But here, Vizsla? Jon Favreau.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I looked and said that.
So you'll see him. And this is, when we talked about the fighting that they have in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
It's coming back to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the armorer just pulls out all these plates. I guess they're not crazy heavy. You just figure there's some weight to it since they say steel.
Steel.
All right, so all of the other Mandalorians are slowly walking in because this is amazing. Curus, what was his shoulder thing called?
Pauldron. Curus is like everything.
Yeah, I figured the breastplate at least. Yeah, this is Jon Favreau's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know about the Night of 1,000 Tears and all of the betrayals of the Empire. They know who to blame. Now we live in shadows only one at a time. No wonder they never see. So, if this is Mando's covert, when he's off on a bounty, does everybody have to wait here until he gets back? It's like everybody's quarantined?
That's an interesting take.
Oh, Mando scraping the steel. Beskar's returns, no matter how it got out, where it came from, it's returned home. How can one be a coward if one chooses this way in life?
Oh, wait. I'm going to have a lot of this is the ways to put down.
Have you ever removed your helmet? Has it ever been removed by others?
Never. This is the way.
This is the way.
That's 2.
Mandalorian, this is the way.
That's 3.
Heavy infantry, this is the way.
That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
All right, so his sigil, his little sign is going to be the mud horn.
Signet.
Sigil. Now he's saying that Yoda or Baby Yoda is an enemy, but it's really just his quarry, right? His job.
I think he's basing it off of the history between the Jedi and the Mandalorians.
Yeah, but then Oh, but then the Mandalorians and the Empires were enemies. It's like, was everybody an enemy of the Mandos?
I guess.
You know?
They're very vicious.
Oh, this is the way.
Oh.
This is the way. This is the way.
How many is that? 2 or 3 right there.
All three of them did it again.
Okay, so there's 6. This is the ways.
So he's going to be able to get his weapons made or his armor made, because it was all honorable. He earned it. Yes, the flashbacks again.
More flashbacks.
Okay, so was it last or the first episode?
First episode.
First, when he had the taste of the Beskar, and he got his shoulder thing made.
Ooh, whistling birds.
So now they're making the whistling birds for his wrist. Man, I would get so many of those made. Unlimited. Massive box. And so once they start pounding the steel here, I'm sure we're going to get those flashbacks again and find out a little bit more about his boom. And just like that, flashbacks to when he was a kid. Now, the last we saw, his parents put him in a hole and closed it, and that's all we saw.
We didn't see anything else.
That was it. Okay. After seeing these so many times or different, over time, you kind of trying to keep them straight. So everybody's getting shot up. We still don't see who's doing the shooting, and then all of a sudden, a super battle droid comes busting in the walls, which are from the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. And so we're dating this now, which puts him about the right age. But now we know who was taking him out. It was the Separatists.
Yep. No wonder he hates droids.
Looking up, mommy, daddy. He raises his hand just like Baby Yoda does.
I didn't see that.
Right?
They're both foundlings.
Cute. And then parents get blowed up. Door opens. Super Star Destroyers puts his gun and gets ready to blow him away. And we're done.
I have another correction to make. It's not a Super Star Destroyer.
Battle droid. Sorry. No, definitely not a Star Destroyer. All right, so back to the bar with Grief Karga, Mr. Carl Weathers. He's not readily giving away the pucks.
The Reading Rainbow.
Definitely not Reading Rainbow. Didn't we talk about this last time?
Yep.
Okay. I love the door opens and you hear that. It's not the Wild West, but it's the Mando music.
He's got a swagger on.
He's just got a strut, a shimmy, something I can't. Yeah, but it's there. They all hate you because you're a legend. Are you surprised when he asked how many have fobs? And he said all of them?
Yeah.
You were surprised? Why would Grief benefit from giving out more fobs?
I don't know.
He's the middleman. He's got to get a cut on some of this stuff, right?
And no, he just said closed deal with the guy.
No, but remember those people jumped him right after, jumped him at the beginning of the second episode?
Yep.
And they all had fobs. So he gave out fobs because the more people that have it, see, he's got his cut of Beskar.
Which we'll find very helpful later.
Yeah, obviously.
In that hidden pocket.
But Grief Karga pulls out some Beskar plates. He's in it for the money, too. This isn't a loyalty between him and Mando. What do you think happens at the Twi'lek healing baths?
More than just healing.
You think his helmet will get polished?
His helmet will get polished.
I don't mean that in a...
Yes, you do.
I do, but
yes,
it didn't mean to sound dirty. I'm just quoting Book of Boba Fett.
You can polish my helmet.
Every time Boba walked in,
can I polish your helmet?
Pikes, the two sexy Twi'leks, the guy and the girl, they come up and can we polish your helmet? Or can we clean your helmet? All right, sorry, I was laughing there. What was the puck?
Just something on Karnak.
Okay, so it was just his next quarry. And then he's turned around and he just can't let it go. He goes, what's going to happen to the kid? And he's reminded by the boss here that it's against the code.
He's got a connection with the baby.
Now, Grief says that the Empire's gone. Clearly, it's not. They're dealing out all this money in Beskar steel, and They definitely have a presence, even if it's hidden like the Mandalorian coverts.
Camtono.
That's not a good idea.
Hyperdriving with spice.
Encouraging one to start a drug habit. To forget
Whatever.
Things.
It's okay.
It's
Star Wars. New and improved Razor Crest.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily new. It's just...
I mean, they put it back together.
The same stuff.
It counts.
Okay, this is awesome.
Show, not tell.
Okay, he's firing up. Walk us through what's just going on.
He doesn't have the ball.
He's in his ship now, for those that are maybe not watching it with us. If they're driving, they can't watch it. He reaches for his gear shift, and he's paused. Look at, there's no acting.
Yes, there is.
And it's all, yeah, there's a lot happening. The music adds a bit, just a little head tilt. It astounds me. We talked about it in the Book of Boba Fett, mainly the Mandalorian episodes. Look at this, a slow zoom in on Mando's helmet.
We can all tell what he's thinking.
You can tell he's like, Dank Ferric, I gotta go.
There's one.
Something. No, you can't put the one. So now he shuts everything down, and he's just going out to get the kid. And you're like, because we don't know anything about Mando. He's got a code, a creed, okay, right? But here is the first time we get to really learn something about him.
Sentimental.
Oh, as is the audience, because we have to see more Baby Yoda. Because as we talked last episode, the amount of news between when the first episode aired and we see just a glimpse of Baby Yoda, pop culture internet exploded.
Of course.
Exploded for 5 seconds of Yoda, Baby Yoda. And so then with these episodes as they came out, just got more and more, meme worthy when he's drinking his spatchka, and all that stuff. All right, Mando's taking a moment. He's dumpster diving. And he just walked by the front door. Now he's dumpster diving, and he sees the bassinet. That can't be good for your little buddy. Really smart how he's slowly working through things.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just rushing on in. Extract the necessary material. We figured out later that was blood.
Shh. We don't know that yet.
Huh. Knock, knock. Thank you. And then walks away. All right, so how many stormtroopers did we see before? 4?
4. I like those odds.
Oh, were we talking over your line?
Yep.
Well, shouldn't we be talking over almost all of this?
No, you were talking over it.
Well, feel free, bud.
I'd rather watch the show.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of not the point.
I'll sit out next time.
Okay. Yeah, really smart of him scoping out everything and where to go. Now, this is great because this is the first time we see him kind of close combat fighting. Yeah, he took out some people, protecting Baby Yoda, but just flashing lights, smoke, shows up out of nowhere. We see this again when he's fighting Migs and those people on the prison barge. Just the smoke coming off the bodies. Mando! Fight.
Dead.
Smoke with the
flashlight.
Yes, how great is that? How simple, but
cinematic.
Oh, yeah. The production quality is amazing. Oh, get over here.
I don't appreciate the Mortal Kombat reference.
Well, of course, that's exactly what that was. Scorpion there. All right, Mando's got his new gear already getting tested. Oh, we haven't talked about it. He's all nice and shiny.
He got new stuff.
Well, we saw him making the stuff, but now yeah. All right, so Dr. Pershing here, is the doctor. He remember last episode or the first episode? First, he wanted him alive. He didn't
Not
like
dead.
that the order could be dead as well. And so Dr. Pershing is all about saving him. I protected him. Mando showing a little bit of restraint here.
And then he's gone.
And then, like Kaiser Soze, disappears. Never to be heard of again.
Like a fart in the wind.
Oh my God, like a fart in the wind.
Name another one. Another analogy for that.
Like tears in rain. Blade Runner.
There's a lot of rain in that.
A lot of rain. Well, especially that last scene. But yeah. Okay, I haven't been keeping count of how many people he's killed.
Countless.
But here's 2 more guys looking around the crates. And Mando with his big old gun on his back. People still can't see him. And a big shiny chrome outfit.
It's dark. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't question it.
I'm not questioning. I'm just commenting.
Carrying Baby Yoda.
And there's another one. Ooh, nice spin. And then the flames. Get them. Okay, that looks pretty cool.
Jeez.
Yeah. Toasted.
Flamed.
That would not be a good way to go.
No. Burnt alive inside of a plastic costume.
Well, probably the plastic costume would melt to them. Ooh. I mean, the bullet or the plasma goes right through all the time. All right, 2 more. 3 more. 4.
Oh, here it is. Maybe. Hopefully. Nope, never mind.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Let me put down this valuable thing. I think the whistling birds are coming.
Shh.
It was expected to watch this prior. Flexing the wrist. That's awesome. So, for those who aren't watching or haven't seen this before, they're just as little darts come spraying out, and they whistle, but they just defy physics until they hit their party, right?
I don't understand it.
I don't know how their propulsion works or what, but they're just whipping around.
They use Beskar to propulse.
It's a lot like Yondu's arrow.
Yep,
and they whistle. Of the Galaxy when he whistles, and it just. Well, I can't whistle. Can you?
I can whistle. You can't whistle.
I can't whistle. And it just goes all over. So think of that, but a lot smaller.
Tracking fobs are back online.
Yes, this is fantastic. The entire bar starts beeping because his quarry is back. It's back, it's re-engaged. Grief has one.
He knows he went back.
Look at him just. That's a great moment. He's only been walking for a few minutes, but it's getting nighttime.
Oh, he's going to get jumped.
People in the alley. Yeah, this ending is great.
It's crazy. I keep remembering some of this stuff later in the season.
How does he expect to get away? I mean, he can sense everybody coming out of the streets. I just love that scene, though, when he's in his Razor Crest and he's getting ready to leave and then shut it down and get out of here.
Mando. Echuta. Mando.
I'm going to my ship. So would these other people be able to collect?
Maybe.
Would they be able to take it right back to the client?
It'd just be a bloodbath.
Unless the bounty just became another quarry, another more money. Dark and cloudy. Just setting them down on the sled.
Sleeping.
Okay, so we got one, and that was a heck of a roll flip.
Jeez. Very acrobatic.
He's got abs of steel to make that happen.
Beskar steel.
Right, Beskar steel. Drive, droid. I'm going to shoot you if you don't. So he's on a little hover sled now, like a luggage type person at the airport. All right, so let's say best case scenario, he's gotten 6 people. It still looks
7.
like there's a couple dozen more. Grief is going to take his shot, and instead of going for Mando, take
Goes
out
for
the
the
R2 droid, and then it falls.
I don't think that's an R2 because it doesn't have a rounded top.
It's a rounded top.
No.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
I don't know if we'll see it again, but it was a round one. Oh, here we go. His disintegrator.
Oh. That's 8.
These people,
9.
is it instantaneous? It looks like it. Would they have any? Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe it's not.
You
painful.
just disappear.
It's just like they're hitting you with what, antimatter or something.
How does it even work?
I don't know. It's a
It
bullet.
just deletes
it's
matter.
A bullet cartridge. So something hits them, and they just.
But it doesn't work on the Creek Dragon. Just on these small guys.
I don't know. We'll have to see when we get closer to that one. But with this particular style, I don't know if hitting them with a bullet and there's an ignition that just like burns them instantly.
Oof.
And it's fast. All right, see, I thought Grief was kind of a friend.
He is.
Well,
it's not rounded.
The stuff he's saying here is not being a friend.
I think he's just trying to get in with the guys.
Well, it's all the code. It's all the guild. And if he's like the head of the union, you gotta stay in. You can't cross the line. You gotta stay together.
Yeah.
And you're violating that right now. Because even when he comes back, in a handful of episodes, it's very still kind of iffy. We can't trust each other. But it's not until they go through their battle that I think they get close. Because they're friends in second season when they have their little adventure.
Right.
Okay. Now this was awesome. All of a sudden, all of these jetpacks, the covert came up. Nobody expected to see a Mando except for Jaren. And so now we get the skies are that's awesome. We haven't seen live action like this before.
No. All flying around.
Saw Jango a little bit just blasting out of somewhere. When we saw Boba in Return of the Jedi, it's right before he takes off and lands on,
Yeah,
Luke's
he doesn't have that big of a role.
But to see these guys just hovering, right, and landing and having control, okay, that's awesome. One of those heavy repeating blasters.
Thanks, Jon Favreau.
Awesome. This is the way. So they said that
that's 2.
You got 2 of them. So by them coming out here, their covert is gone. This was their hiding place from whether it's just the Empire or post-Empire, a way to protect their population after the Night of 1,000 Years. And now, because they come out for Mando, they have to up and move. And the only response, because they're enemies, the only response was, this is the way. This is what we have to do. All right, so Grief Karga here. He's getting duped. Never stand there in the wide open.
Shot in the chest.
Boom. Love the music. You should have a little mark for every time you hear that.
No. My fingers would never stop counting.
But yeah, so this was the second episode with Carl Weathers, and since we've said that it's expected you've watched these before, so we're not spoiling anything. So him coming awake right here, it was just like, of course he's gonna survive, and it's the oldest trick in the book. It's
something blocked it.
Something blocked
stack of coins or
something, a Bible stopped the bullet, or and so we're like, of course he can't die because he
had the best
for the
scar.
biggest name, on the show at this time. All right, so the Razor Crest is hauling,
Gotta get me one of
those jetpacks, I don't know how much fuel is in them, but they were flying at however many hundreds of miles an hour he's flying at.
I gotta get one of those.
Okay, and Baby Yoda is reaching for the ball.
And he gets
Mando gets it and drops it. Such a better...
What an episode.
A great episode, because now this show, it's about these people. Yes. We don't know anything more other than he just risked everything
for Baby Yoda.
For Baby Yoda, just to save him.
Deborah Chow.
Deborah Chow is the one who's going to be in charge of. She's directing all of the episodes for Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this was a really strong episode.
Definitely holds up.
Yep.
After seeing everything else.
The outdoor fighting, all the Mandalorians showing up, the stormtrooper fighting inside.
Werner Herzog.
Now we talked, I think it was at the end of the last one, I said how the cover art is so great that, there should be a book, or it looks like stuff you could put on a wall. Like that one right there looks amazing. The heavy repeater cannons. That's a beautiful one too. But there's a new one, a book just came out. It's The Art of Mandalorian Season 2.
I'd like to see that.
I would like to see that as well. But how long does it take a person to sit down and do this?
I don't think it went to such detailed coloration until after they started working on the show.
So it would have been more pencils.
It's just like a little sketch. Oh, Spotchka. But
coming up.
Just not that, but just pencil paper. But then for the purpose of the credits, change it.
So the 10 of them that you're gonna do. So then do it.
Like in Book of Boba Fett, some of them were animated, so, the concept art of the sanctuary exploding. It looked like it was exploding, so it wasn't just drawn like that.
Got you.
They'd do something with it. All right, we're going to be moving on to episode 4, titled Sanctuary. Just over 41 minutes at 41 and a half. And I don't know. Do you think this is a proper amount of stalling?
Stalling? Oh, for people to get it situated? Well, if they need to pause it and take a break, they have the ability to pause us, so they can do whatever they want.
On go?
Take off, man.
On one.
Take off, you hosers.
No.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, go.
So smooth. You were just a Mac.
Beautiful Blue Disney.
Mm-hmm. Against the code. You have to think that seeing that empty bassinet in the dumpster had to just
set him off.
Well, just like, oh my God, I'm too late, right? When we ranked our favorite Mando moments before Boba Fett started, or favorite episodes, I don't think I ever had this one, but there's some great stuff in that we just saw with all of the Mandalorians.
It's all right. Season 2's cooler.
Oh, totally. But there were some moments in that one that's just really I kind of forgot about, or things get lost with everything else that we take in. And him making the choice, because if he didn't go back for Baby Yoda, this whole show could have gone in a completely different direction.
Where would we have gone?
Who knows? It would have been completely different. It wouldn't have been so, self-sacrificing everything for the kid. Are they even glowing? The shrimp,
Are
or are
they
they
supposed to
just
be?
blue? I
I
don't
think they're
know.
just blue.
Some sort of bioluminescence. Man, those things are blue.
Yes, the krill are blue.
Okay, so this looks like some little like rice patty type thing. Okay, now this young lady here, this mother, she pops up in the new Dexter season. Dexter, was it New Blood? She is the cop that is Dexter's girlfriend that starts to get suspicious of things.
Hmm.
Because I'm watching, like, I have seen this before, and it's
Now
the
you're seeing
krill
it?
farmer. Yeah.
That's one of the frogs they're cooking in Book of Boba Fett in the kitchen.
Oh, I bet you're right. Is it a one-eyed?
Yeah. I like how all
Okay.
their clothes are dyed blue and green
Yeah.
because with the krill.
Their whole life is this. Okay, something's spooking them. Just like when a T-Rex or something big is walking through the forest, you can't see it, but birds take off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something large. All right, there's being okay. This little girl needs to get up and run.
That's my problem with like in shows and movies, little girls in distress who are just like standing there crying, like move.
Everybody else moved, and they seem to know what they were doing. All right, so these Clatoonians,
I thought it was Clatoonians.
did I say it the wrong way?
I don't.
Clatoonians,
It has an extra I, so you'd think it would be called Clatoonians.
Clatoonians are just stealing shrimp.
Breaking their droids.
Gosh, they're just being jerks,
They're
I
Clatoonians.
guess.
Big baddie coming out.
This would have been a fun set to work on. Smart mom just hiding out under the basket. We'll have to see if you said that in one of our Book of Boba Fett talks that that Nikto speeder bike gang, even though these are Clatoonians, not Niktos, you said you think you saw some
Something
markings.
like it.
Well,
I
maybe there'll
don't.
be some markings, even if it's not the like a J and backwards J, or how would you describe?
I like
Just like
an L.
L, a J and an L. Yeah.
It's
All right.
like the Tesla symbol, but upside down.
Yeah, and a split in the middle.
Well, it
Is
is.
it? Oh, Tesla split. That's right. Sanctuary, Chapter 4,
Oh,
Episode 4.
space.
Space,
They're in
the
space
final
again.
frontier. I don't know. Well, I do know what it is. It's just cuteness.
This
But
part's funny.
every cooing, just touching buttons, pushing things, annoying him.
And then it just like
Ah,
throws off the entire ship.
every adult watching this that has had children, this I'm staring you dead in the eyes, and I'm
Flick.
still gonna push it. What are you gonna do now? Sorgan.
Sorgan, Krill, Spotchka.
Spotchka. Sorgan.
Spotchka.
So we should be able to remember it.
Sorgan Spotchka.
Because we've had different planets. None of these planets do I recall ever hearing prior. Whether it was Navarro, where we were just at fighting, or
Sorgan.
where the Jawas were, we figured out that wasn't Tatooine. That was
something 4 or
started with
7.
an A.
Eh.
We'll look it up later. Again. So he's just looking for a place to hide, a literal sanctuary. The title is just to escape. Everybody's going to be looking for him. And so they want to find a place that is extremely remote.
Why would you put him in there?
Don't touch anything, and he set him next to his
The ball, the
drive
controls.
shaft, and all the buttons he's pushing. Don't move. All right, so Mando has to climb down a ladder and go and stand at a cargo bay door. And by the time that is awesome.
That's a great shot. Because, yeah, you don't think it.
No, But somehow he climbed down or force to get
Yeah,
down the steps. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, like in the first episode, he goes from the cockpit to another room that has a ladder that goes down to the cargo bay. So
Right.
just
That was the myth
jumping
rule.
around. I
And
don't know.
so little baby Yoda, his little steps here, and Mando is walking way in front of him. There's no way this kid's strides are going to keep up. Oh,
Lothcat.
a Lothcat from Rebels. There's Cara Dune. Gina Carano acting all nonchalant. This place would definitely be breezy.
With all the holes in the
Oh,
walls.
right. It'd be
Bone
nice and
broth.
a way to keep it cool, I guess. Heating would be really treacherous, though. Subtly look away. I read somewhere that that's Josh Gad's wife, that bartender.
Hmm. She looks like Josh
No,
Gad.
she doesn't. Wives don't have to look like their husbands.
Well, they look like siblings.
Why would he want to?
I don't know.
Someone that looks like him.
I don't know. The black hair or something.
All right, keep an eye on the kid.
Is that really Josh Gad's wife?
That's what I heard. All right, so his spidey sense is tingling. First
Or
time we get to see
Mando sense?
Mando sense. So now we get to see what little gadgets he has.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool though. There's a popular meme coming up here in a bit.
Just Baby Yoda
Baby
sipping
Yoda sipping.
on the bone broth.
Yep. Now she former fighter. She's did some action movies. Wasn't much of the actress, but more of the fighter type person.
She was in Deadpool.
She
That's what I remember.
Yeah, and she was in Fast Five, I think.
It's
But
5, yeah.
okay, that punt. I mean, she knows how to fight,
Regal fight.
and you're gonna see her face. That's when you know it's really good stuff. You know, it's that the actors are really doing it.
Here we go.
But the way he hit the ground when she punched him, it's like his top half hit and then his bottom half just whoosh, like a towel whipping it. You know, just snapped him to the ground. And now they're friends.
Respect.
Game respects game. All right, so we know more about her as the thing goes on, but a
Dropper.
rebel. We'll find out Alderanian.
Not anymore.
You're always Alderanian. Where you're from?
But what if it doesn't exist anymore?
Where you're from, man? Ah. Okay, watch her drink this sip here. Wait, does she?
What do you mean, does she?
I don't know.
Didn't know if it was real? It looked good.
You can usually tell when people have nothing in their mugs. I don't know. It just
like the weight of it.
It's like they just do a thing, but then they start talking or doing something like, no, you need to swallow it first. You know what I mean? It's just
if I were to act, I'd be really good with like drinking and eating because like you know how you drink.
Well, yes.
You don't just like drink and then you're like blah talking.
Okay.
You drink, like you like gulp it down and it takes a little bit to like put in your mouth. And then you have to swallow it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to breathe. Then you can talk.
Breathing is important.
Breathing is important.
And so you would drink every take?
Yeah.
So if there's 5 takes, and that's the wide shot, and then you have to do a close-up of you.
Whatever. It's just drinking.
Because you've seen, especially famously in Big Bang Theory, how when they're sitting in their cafeterias,
They don't eat
they
anything.
just always keep just forking it around, and not eating because
So many takes.
for continuity plus the food intake. So yeah, wow. So we jumped. So he's being recruited by two of the spotchka farmers. One of those guys is pretty famous. Well, not famous, but he shows up in a bunch of other things.
That guy looks like Pete Davidson.
The guy with the big eyes? Oh no,
The guy on the left.
Oh, the left. That's the guy that we've seen in things before. He was on, gosh, a bunch of stuff, but I remember he was Jason's friend, like Donkey Dog or something like that in a Good Place. The Ted Danson, Kristen Bell show. He's pretty funny.
Nope.
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 So the most attractive
Sounds like a
thing,
deal.
too, it's not the money.
It's the safety.
The safety in the middle of nowhere. It's taken them hours to get here.
All day.
Now, they could fly there.
Nah.
But
it's got to be secluded.
Between here and where they're at. Round 2. How boring would this be, though, when you could literally walk faster than this thing would be pulling you?
I mean, it's less tiring than walking for an entire night.
I guess.
And you can sleep.
Speeder bike would be nice.
Oh.
Just sit there, watch the stars pass as you
slowly
drift off into madness.
You could get jumped.
Literally, people could walk next to you. They'd just pull you out. Boy, all these kids, my goodness. They don't have a problem with procreating here, keeping their population flush.
Well, if most of them are getting killed by the Clatoonians.
Oh. Well, just the slow ones are dumb ones. We don't move. Survival of what? The survival of the fittest?
Yep.
1, 2. What do we got? About 12 different buildings back there? All right, so this is what it looks like, a wicker or reeded house structure.
Yep. Very cold.
This doesn't give off the vibes of being a hot planet, but it seems like it's a okay planet.
A temperate.
So with all the holes in the stuff, I'm like, well, when the weather's not the greatest. Now, this is a really cute episode in the where you almost feel like Mando might
break the creed.
It's teased that I think they call her the widow. Kara says the girl, she's sweet on you. There's a vibe. If he didn't want to be alone anymore, if he wanted to stay here and be safe, this would be a good spot.
It would be. Because they're not going after him, they're going after Baby Yoda.
He's had a very solitary existence. And that's where, when he starts to piece together some sort of a family structure or a purpose. I think that's why Boba, when he, in his episodes, when he, with the Tuskens, that's one of the, he was the prisoner, but eventually it became family to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wanted to rule and have people around him instead of just jumping on a ship and being a solo fighter.
Here's this dumb kid who almost died yesterday.
No.
And she's like, can I feed him?
How do they know what he likes? Probably eats anything, right?
He likes frogs.
We do know that. Do we yet, though?
Yeah. With Queel. There was like a frog lying around.
There. Yep.
Then there are frogs here.
Oh, he's gonna... Yeah. I think I would have been nervous if I were an actor and I had to lift that puppet up.
You don't want to break it?
No, I remember hearing a price. It literally was either 100,000 or 1 million for the Baby Yoda
Just
puppet.
for Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, it's worth
you
it.
know the ones they lift and move around. You know the gadgetry and stuff.
When it's not CGI.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yesterday.
Ah, so we were talking about that. If on a ship, if no one's in his ship,
Clearly he
he
does.
can just take it off.
But Baby Yoda would see it.
Well, then he doesn't. He's only had Baby Yoda for a little bit.
But he had him yesterday.
Well, if Baby Yoda was in his bed or if he was locked in the cockpit or something.
Clearly we can see he gets around.
Yeah. Well, that's true. All right, so some big backstory here because parents
Oh,
killed.
this is the way.
Parents killed. Mandalorians saved him, which we haven't really seen yet. We just hear about it. Do you think his hate for droids has something to do with the vision flashback?
No, not at
of
all. No.
Oh,
This is what I
here
find
comes the mask.
so idiotic. There's a bunch of kids
Yeah.
right there.
If he's truly risking his creed by never taking it off and no one's taken it off, or I haven't, and then all they have to do is look in the window and see it, and then
Yeah.
he would be crushed.
I mean, maybe he wants to, but he's not going to give it up like by himself.
People always joke like, how does Darth Vader eat? How do people with masks
They take their helmets off?
And the joke was very carefully, something like that. But to see him do that, that was pretty gutsy. All right, so Mandalorian, he's tracking.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well that's
a dinosaur footprint.
That's a pretty big print. All right, so we got the ATST, which we have not seen yet in this episode. We just saw the Klatooinians. What movie were those introduced in? Do you recall?
This Empire Strikes Back.
No, those were the hold on.
Yep.
Maybe they were because
on
there's
Hoth.
AT-ATs
and ATSTs.
So the AT-ATs, and then there might have been the small little walkers. Yes.
Yes.
But they were predominantly, they did the damage. They were the walkers on Endor fighting the Ewoks.
That was the third one, but they were introduced in the second one.
Technically, you probably did see them. I almost wonder if those were special edition entrances. When I was a kid, I just remembered the AT-ATs, the AT-ATs.
They're not like
those were the big
made point of, but they're just walking there.
Yeah, I think I do remember that.
I just love the design of the eyeballs on this one.
Oh, yeah, when we get there, yeah. All right, so this is the stereotypical training the
montage.
Training the commoners, showing them all how to shoot, showing them all how to self-defense.
My grandparents.
Because if you don't fight, you will never be rid of your bullies. Show us, show us. What, dig deeper than the ponds or bogs that they have?
I don't know. I mean, they're standing in it.
You'd think that'd be big enough. It's like putting a pothole in. So those little kids, legitimate, they're trying to... And how much time do they have? Do they just get attacked every once in a while?
I think it's like every night.
There's no way they get attacked every night. They wouldn't be able to survive.
Maybe it's like a system.
All right, so only one person has shooting experience.
Or maybe it's every other night. Because they didn't do it last night. Because they went to go get Mando.
I just wonder, as they're training, is there a sense of immediacy? Like, it could happen tonight.
Yeah.
There's your sticks. This is kind of like the Jedi, where the whole taking down the establishment, the Empire, with rudimentary
Uh-huh.
bows, arrows, rocks, swooping down in kites, tripping, throwing logs. And so here we're back to stick jabbing. Those Klatooinians, I'm pretty sure they had all guns and knives
Yeah.
and stuff. So not quite sure how the sticks are going to help them.
Oh, they know what's happening because they went to go and blow up their camp.
They went to go and blow up the camp.
They're
Well,
gonna go and blow up the camp,
yeah,
which
yeah.
aggravates
Well,
them
they're
and
going to
makes them
go
go.
and light the fuse.
Yeah.
But if they don't go and do that,
Yeah.
who knows
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
come back, but they will come back
Maybe it's
and
once
raid
a week
again.
or something. Or maybe that was the first time. I
Oh,
don't know, because they seemed like surprised that it was happening. Is that glow in the dark purple?
I don't know. Those don't look like the Klatooinians that we see in the others.
They look like Gamorreans.
Kind of, but not. Excuse me. So green and pig-like. Now, what are these things? They're not forges. They're not the blue Mando stuff. Are they krill?
The Twi'lek healing baths.
Are these the Twi'lek killing? I don't know what they are though.
Maybe it's just like, I don't know, water.
Hello, boys.
Beat them.
Nice
I
teamwork.
remember watching this for the first time and like, she can't be just a one-time character. And
She just
yeah,
takes hits well and gives them out, which is straight up what her training would have been. Ah,
dong.
yeah, that's not Pedro
Oh,
Pascal, and that
okay, that's hot.
he's moving way too quick
You sure?
in the fight. Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't seem slow. Just
Well, it.
like he seems like he would be able to move around a bit.
I would hope so. The smaller stuff that could be him, but
I don't want him just to be like he just does the
yeah, I don't
voices,
either. But they have like two guys, one who's more of
the athletic guy,
fighting, and one who's more of like, I don't want to say like the ninja, but
the ninja.
ninja fight kind of stuff.
Oh,
Okay, I remember distinctly this moment thinking how awesome, and red, the eyes just glowing in the darkness, and then it starts to come after them.
I love how it shakes the camera when it walks too.
A little bit, yeah.
It's
And the red
nice.
and the darkness, the bolts. How about not running in a straight line a little bit?
They're zigzagging the
They're
trees.
trying a little bit, but there's still a wide enough gap that that thing can get through.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have a place that they want to get to. Okay, now this shot's gonna be
This is
awesome.
concept art,
Yeah, that I do remember that
like
concept art.
wallpaper.
Oh man, they probably haven't seen this mech before
Oh,
because they said they have a mech and we'll take care of it. But just slowly. Yeah, this is like the old King Kong movie where they're summoning him to, the sacrifice of the woman, and you can see it slowly coming and then working its
oh
way through.
yeah.
What a great reveal. I'm looking to see heads, people looking out those windows like you're supposed to, but we can't see them, so it
There's
makes
the
you think,
shot.
yeah, it makes
Oh,
you think that it's autonomous.
When you hear "get down," you just stay up.
Mm-hmm. Just lay waste, right? All over.
Just do that.
Yep.
Just kill
You
like
can
a
see.
1,000 of them.
You see the barricade here, like it's Les Miserables. Just you can tell they're ready for a fight. And finally, these guys showed up.
How good would a thermal detonator right now be?
Oh man.
Just on the
Well, they're
little
all
pipe
running
there.
right down the center.
Exactly. They shouldn't be able to get past.
Too bad Mando's not shooting because just cook right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Been nice and easy.
Or disintegrate them.
They just need it to go one more step. These kids might be scarred. I'll never forget this. He's partnered up with some very interesting people so far. Well, people. IG-11.
Yeah.
And then her.
A robot.
Yeah.
And then an Ugnaught.
Well, yeah, technically, for sure.
That was a waste of a
Well, I think
disintegrator bolt.
Yeah. She just needed to egg him on a little further. Now, they said earlier how many generations they were here. That's why they couldn't leave, right? Like our grandparents.
Yeah, they're 3 generations in.
Yeah. So this is their whole livelihood. Just the power of those things.
It just stands there.
Uh-huh. There's no threat to it.
Nope.
The only threat is if he takes another step.
Oh, here come the sticks. What did that break?
I don't know. It would have hit the back of the wall, right?
Yeah.
Back of the head. Whatever. It's fine.
Oh, there we go.
Fire in the hole.
Oh.
I think it was already pretty much down, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they have a self-righting mechanism
No,
on them like
not.
battle bots. All right, so the Clatoonians that I guess they weren't killed, but just maybe beaten up and slapped around a little bit by Mando and Kara.
They're not coming back.
So they've scared them away. And then if they come back, they can at least fight a little bit. So they have a sporting chance.
With their sticks.
With their sticks.
I don't know. They might have killed some guys with guns.
Hey, where did they get all those guns? Did Mando
Where
let them
did
borrow?
they get them?
I think we saw a case and he was handing them out. So,
okay.
yeah.
Wherever he got the case from.
From his...
The frog.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah. These kids are... So, he's clearly 50 years old.
Yeah. He acts like a child.
And he eats a lot. Does he go to the bathroom on his own? Is he
potty trained at 50?
Is he potty trained? But then all the
he's got a forced diaper on.
Forced diaper. He controls himself. He doesn't produce waste.
Oh.
His body uses up every aspect of what he consumes.
Ew. That would be weird.
It would be weird if you don't have to go to the restroom anymore. Here we go. Yeah, literally. What happens if you take your helmet off?
You just can't put it on again.
But see, we saw Death Watch back in the Clone Wars animated shows.
They weren't really Mandalorians.
Pre-Vizsla, House Vizsla, they could take their helmets off. You know, this
is a different creed.
It's a different creed, but Paz Vizsla, you know, is the same house. So I think it's just establishing different ideologies or different belief systems. There are some people who are really devout in their faith, others who I want to be a good person. Yeah, I believe in heaven.
I'm on death watch. I'm gonna be a good person.
And so he is just a die-hard into the faith. You think he could handle just hanging around doing nothing? Or you think he'd be bored?
No, he'd get bored. Another one of those guys.
Would you call him a kabaz
Something.
with the long with snout?
Yeah, the spy guys.
It was a spy in A New Hope, but then it was the recorder player in that first planet.
Budget Hoth.
So somebody found them, or is coming in, closing in on them.
How'd
So
you
they're not
use a
even
tracking
safe here.
fob in space?
It,
That would be weird.
does it only start beeping when you're close? So there's like,
I
I'm
don't
just on a
know.
planet.
That
You
would be
just
weird.
start flying around. All right, so we found a home for the kid
Not the
in
home.
episode 4, a quarter of the way through.
Can you imagine it was just a 4-episode series?
And then we're done. Well, that would have been about a long movie, wouldn't it? 4 episodes.
Very long movie.
About 3-hour movie, maybe.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I'd see a Mandalorian movie.
Well, I think the hope is that all of these characters that they introduce, that they can eventually
just one big
turn it into
thing.
like an Avengers movie. Uh-oh. Gonna remove the helmet? Oh, it's not a Kabaz. We got a closer look. Sorry, Krill Farmer. You can't take my helmet off.
No, you don't. You just try to take the helmet off.
She's disappointed. Maybe she thought that she would never be attracted to anybody again.
What?
That's why she's so disappointed.
Oh, don't kill the kid!
She doesn't have a husband anymore, and then this guy shows up, and he's the savior. A thing you don't expect to hear in the peacefulness of the sanctuary.
Bang!
Shot. Thank goodness for Kara.
How'd she even know?
Maybe she's on patrol. Out and about.
Crush it.
And then there is a beeper. So they're not even safe, so he can't leave Baby Yoda here.
We're not safe here.
And they'll keep coming.
And they don't stop coming. Something on the ground. Hit the ground running.
Are you trying to do Smash Mouth?
No. I'm doing All-Star.
Yeah, it's Smash Mouth.
I know.
Okay. Well, this is a little bit different ending than we thought maybe 2 minutes ago that was going to happen. A lot of...
Yep.
I'm serious. For Baby Yoda was going to stay. He was contemplating staying, giving up being a Mando.
And now he's got to waste an entire day going back to his ship.
Going back to his ship. And she's just going to hang out, do her own thing for a bit. Aww.
Oh, so pretty.
His ears like to move
huge.
like little fans or windmills. Yeah, he's adorable.
Took you this long?
No, I can't.
Look at that.
It always happens. You just always see him and just
Then the
starts
little cooing. Yeah.
He just keeps getting cuter and cuter. I like the variation of the music here. Just a little slower.
Triumphant.
Bum, 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 but it's not that blazing trumpet. Right. So they gotta go on this little hover. Hey, we've seen those hover things move pretty quickly. That hover sled?
Yeah.
I want you to go a little bit quicker.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, this was hers. Directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. That is correct. I remember that now.
Wait, where's the concept art?
And we talked about her with when she did that Boba Fett episode.
Which one was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one was it?
Yeah, which episode?
I'm asking you which episode.
I'm asking
Yeah,
you.
put me on the spot.
Yeah, which one?
Mm-hmm. Do, 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 do. It was one of the Mandalorian ones.
Yep, it was number 5.
This is his first one. There's the concept art.
Oh,
The red eyes,
love
the
it.
size and scope and scale of everything.
How do you even think to put red eyes on it instead of just a
Well,
normal
if it's
ATST?
nighttime, in submarines, what color do they have for the lights? It's red.
Green.
Red. Okay. Yeah, the cover art still beautiful. We'll have to get that book, check that out at some point. Thank you so much for listening. Hope giving you something to do between the hiatus that we have until Kenobi comes. So whether you're watching these on your own and then listening to the podcast, or doing them at the same time, or just skipping the podcast and watching Mando, as long as it's Star Wars.
As long as it's Star Wars.
Then I think we're good. So, any parting thoughts, Nolan, before we sign off? Oh, we got the Q&A to do.
Yeah.
We got the Q&A. So we'll get going with that here momentarily. But any last thoughts about the episodes?
No, I did not see Chris O'Dowd. However.
Okay, that's a flashback to Boba Fett talks. You're going to be missing that.
Yeah, nope. I don't
Little
have any.
inside joke, folks, of a character that I predicted would show up at some point in Boba Fett, and then decided, it'll probably be in the next series. So we shall see.
Changing your predictions.
Well, I'm on record, and you can go back and find it.
Yeah.
You
changed it.
Okay. All right. So, done with the episodes?
Yep.
Okay. Let's get into Q&A.
And now we're moving on to our question and answer segment, where we answer our fan questions, lines of inquiry, whatever they have on their mind pertaining to the shows we're watching or just Star Wars in general. So we'd like to welcome back our social media manager. I like Maven though.
What's Maven mean?
I don't know what it means, so I don't like it.
Fantastic. Take it. And Kat. So Kat, welcome back.
Thank you.
You have our Q&A for this podcast?
I do. We've only got 2 questions this episode, both of which come from Eileen. The first question, how has recording the podcast changed the way you view, digest, think about, or enjoy Star Wars content?
Oof.
It's very specific.
How has the podcast changed the way you've looked at it?
I guess looking at new stuff, I look at it a lot differently. Instead of just trying to enjoy it and follow along with the story, I'm looking into deeper meanings of actions and like what people are doing, why they're doing it, and also like hidden things that people are trying to sneak in instead of just kind of sitting there and staring at the TV. Just looking at it with more purpose instead of just purpose.
So has it diminished your viewing?
Not my
Pleasure?
viewing pleasure. I guess so, because I would probably like to watch it the first time without having to go over like, what am I going to write down in notes? And not like, if I'm going to go and watch it a second time, I don't want to already like have notes done. I want to enjoy the show for what it is and not look at it from podcasting about it.
And this is the first time that you've done that? Because
Yes,
you've had pretty
definitely.
in-deep conversations, about about Mandalorian or other movies and such, from one-time viewing. Do you feel like the level of analysis or critique has improved or at all?
Definitely, but probably at the expense of enjoyment of the show.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah. When this season started, I remember I was like wanting to take notes in the first viewing,
Yep.
and so then I stopped and I would just watch, you know what I mean, and soak it in so you can kind of enjoy it as that fan. But it's the second viewing that I would, go through and just organize my thoughts so that we have somewhat of a, a chronological or some sort of an order or structure to the analysis. I think that was required. Otherwise, we could have gotten off on different tangents and confused people, maybe.
3-hour podcast.
Well, I don't know if we could have gone that long, but maybe. But yeah, so I think critically, maybe it took it to another level of me. I've always been a hard judge of stories and acting and things of that nature, and I don't think doing this podcast has given me a new opportunity to do it. However, I feel like having someone else to try to predict,
enjoy it with,
and walk it through in such fine detail. I think I've know these episodes better than the Mandalorian episodes, even if I've watched those several times. I don't feel like I had the conversation with those as we have with these. So I don't think it's diminished my enjoyment of them overall, but I can see. But again, for me, I stopped trying to take notes, and I just, for the first viewing, I'm like, I'm going to have to rewatch this again before we talk for the podcast. And so once I bought into that, then I was fine.
Then it's just a matter of finding time to watch it again, take notes about it. You want to stay focused with it to the point where you're not just watching it again for the podcast and you're just doing it not for yourself. You have to watch it again because you want to watch it again.
Yeah.
It's
like that good movie, you're like,
time.
oh, I can't wait to I could see that one again. You saw.
Yeah, put time between it.
A little bit of time.
Don't get burnt out.
But with the podcast, you kind of are on a time limit. With these Mandalorian rewatches, we're not really tied down for. But with the newer ones, to be relevant and for our rapidly growing audience, we need to be a reliable source of discourse and constructive criticism, maybe, and things of that nature.
I don't think Kat can answer this one since she hasn't really
I
religiously
can't
watched
answer this
it.
one. I've never religiously watched it. I will never religiously watch it. But watching it to know what not to talk about as the social media manager so that I don't spoil anything. Like, anything in the most recent episodes, don't talk about right away because you don't know that everybody has seen it. Or I like anticipating what questions will get asked. Like, what did you think about this? Or what were your thoughts about that? I've never been a hardcore, die-hard fan of Star Wars. I don't think that's gonna change, but I enjoy it. It's good. It's fine. Yay, Star Wars.
It's okay.
It's Star Wars. It's fine. Better than Star Trek. Second
I'm gonna
question.
have to agree with you there.
Second question. Is there something new or changed about your Star Wars experience? Other than just content? Like your, books, I guess. I don't know.
Do you interpret this question as, do you view it in a different way now that we've been looking at it like this?
Maybe it's just now, what does it mean to you?
Yeah.
What is Star Wars
creator.
in general? How has that changed? Are you more of a fan? How have you branched out? Maybe as a result of doing the podcast.
Just say what it means to you, as opposed to before.
Okay.
The podcast.
I don't really think much has changed. It used to just be once a week, watch something cool, and now it's report on it, do a science report and talk about it for an hour and a half, which is what our episodes are tending towards. But
are you enjoying that addition instead of just a 40-minute soak, dipping your toes into Star Wars for an entire week, knowing that you have a couple hours total from watching it and chatting about it? Is that pleasurable? Is it something that you look forward to? Is it an escape from everything else that's going on in your life for that week?
I'd say so. It's a couple hours a week that there's nothing, it's just Star Wars, and you're just sitting there talking about Star Wars, and there's nothing else to it, really.
Well, but I mean, if it's something that's not too pleasurable, if you're not looking
I'm not
forward
saying
to
it's
it.
not pleasurable.
Well, I'm trying to get you to express that a
Stop
little
making
bit
me
more.
slip up.
Well, how have things changed? It's the question that was asked by our fan.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard and know that you have started reading certain Star Wars books. Since we've started this podcast, so one would think that maybe you've stretched a little bit there.
Maybe we'll do a book-related episode.
No, we will, but these are just ways that you've changed. I know that I have, well, mainly it's because when you started reading, I started rereading several of the books, getting lost in the worlds of the characters, and with, seeing young Luke in these episodes, it made me want to go back to the Heir of the Empire, and rewatch the Thrawn trilogy.
Where's Mara Jade?
Yeah, Mara Jade, Luke's Mara Jade eventually. But just because I have that visual in my head of him and seeing it recently in these episodes, now as I'm going through these books again, I'm realizing, wow, they could really start to do these now.
Now that everything's been wiped out by Disney purchasing Star Wars,
they can reestablish them as canon.
No more expanded universe.
And with Luke, Mark Hamill didn't record a single line of dialogue for this last episode with him. They just used old whatever audio they had and then modified it through some sort of, not necessarily an auto-tune type thing, but, so if you're able to deep fake and have Mark Hamill's voice without him doing it, well, Carrie Fisher can come back, and I bet she'll look better than she did in Rogue One, at the very end.
It's Rogue One. It's okay.
It's fine, but I'm just saying that now these things can be a reality, so. Yeah. Did we get through that question?
Yes, and I'd like to thank Eileen for being the sole contributor today for the Q&A. Thanks for carrying that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. For this week's What If? What if, in the same vein as Marvel, where they just changed one little thing and then whatever could happen does happen. Catherine, we'll have you start. What if Darth Maul did not get cut in half? So if he didn't get defeated and he was victorious there on Naboo, how would things have changed?
We would never have an empire. He'd get Obi-Wan, find Anakin, and stop the new Jedi and I guess the rise of Vader from ever happening. Darth Maul and the Emperor would reign supreme.
No Dooku. Dooku wouldn't take over as Darth Tyrannus, for Sidious. So would Maul be... Because Dooku was that politician, the one who led the Separatists, met with all of the Separatist heads and in Attack of the Clones. Can we see Maul playing politician?
No.
No.
He'll leave that to Palpatine.
Leave that to Palpatine in the shadows?
I think he's just kind of a kill people guy.
He's kind of a hitman for Palpatine.
He seems like he's one of those, you need to fix something, you need to erase it.
The Rook.
The what?
The Rook.
Rook?
Yeah.
What's that?
The Rook?
Yeah.
Like in chess?
Rukh.
Oh.
Oh.
Rook.
Okay. Rook, the Nagari bounty hunter.
I'm saying it right. You don't get it.
He is. It's from the Thrawn
You're
trilogy.
just really too
It's
into
Thrawn,
it.
right-hand man. I don't think I've ever heard it spoken before. It's just read.
They say it in Rebels.
Oh, do they?
Coughing
Oh,
up
yeah,
a hairball
yeah.
over there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, you had a hairball.
Keep
caught
it over
him.
there, please.
I don't know. That was just interesting because, I think Maul is totally that thug. I think Anakin still does take out the droids. So then, in Phantom Menace, so maybe Naboo is victorious and Maul can sneak away and go lick his wounds somewhere.
What wounds?
Ew.
He still has his legs.
Maybe the defeat
His
of
dignity. His wounded dignity.
that he failed because they sent him there to deal with it. I'm sending my apprentice, Darth Maul. Oh, great, 2 of them.
Jedis would still thrive. There never would have
Yeah.
been the wipeout of the Jedis.
But it was the emergence of the Sith, though, because remember they already prior to that fight hey, who was that guy we were fighting? Oh, he was trained in the Jedi arts. Well, then it's of a Sith. Always 2 there are, no more, no less.
And in
the Clone Wars, the Night Sisters / Savage arc would have never happened because he never had to go and find him as like a spider Maul.
Yeah.
Oh, he never had that.
Ezra
yeah.
would never get
So
the
there
dark
would be
side
something else that
holocron.
happened
Yeah.
or didn't.
So how
happen.
does he survive that fall? I
We
mean,
don't know.
there's a lot of pits.
Suspension of disbelief at this point.
He falls down, somehow survives.
So does
Luke.
Palpatine
Luke
in the
gets
Death
his
Star.
hand cut off.
Yeah.
Yes, but Catherine Palpatine's
Han
Dark
falls
Lord of
down
the
a
Sith.
shaft, but he was dead kind of before he fell down, from when Kylo killed
Yeah,
him.
no, there's no coming
Palpatine.
back
There's
from
just
that.
a lot of, in 9-episode films, we just named at least 4 of those films had people
Yeah.
falling down holes.
Now we're just
An
waiting
easy
on.
way for people to die.
We're just waiting on Ben Solo now. He was the last one to fall down a thing, so now he's got to pop back up.
Ben
somehow.
Solo died.
Yeah.
Well, and Mace, you were talking
Where
about
have
at
you
the
been?
last
I
Q&A.
don't know.
The last Q&A we had.
Yeah, got thrown out a window.
And realistically now, he
Was he
might-
dead beforehand?
Well, it depends if he electrocuted and died right then.
We don't know.
But if the survival rate
He looked
of
awake
falling
falling
down
out the
a
window.
shaft is
100%.
over 50%. Mace
50%
flung out a
fatality
window.
rate falling out a window.
Well, remember though in that Coruscant car chase when they're chasing the changeling
Yeah.
Sam Wessel,
Oh yeah.
when Anakin jumps out the side and Obi-Wan goes, "I hate it when he does it," he just falls, and then just grabs onto her car. Why couldn't Mace do that?
Another happy landing.
Yeah.
I feel like I said that.
I think he
In
did.
great detail.
No, I think he did pretty much that exact same thing
Oh.
last episode.
That you can use the Force to propel yourself from dying.
Oh yeah, you were talking about if you're falling down, you can repulse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like
I'm
Iron
just
Man.
talking about how they were falling and then grabbing onto stuff.
Well, that too.
They don't need an arm anymore.
Ours
It's
is
okay.
fancier.
Yeah.
Be like Iron Man. Be a Jedi.
Be a Jedi. Be like Iron Man. Be a Jedi. That's like a poster for recruitment.
Oh yeah.
Uncle Sam wants you.
We want you. Be a Jedi. Be Iron Man.
Jedi. Be Iron
No.
Man. Very good. Very good. All right. Well,
Is that it?
I think that's it. Do you have anything that you'd like to add, Kat?
Follow us on Twitter at MallRatsPod. Follow us on Instagram at MallRatsPodcast. And email us at mallratspod@gmail.com. We await your questions.
What else? Where else can you find us?
You can also find us on YouTube
There
and
we go.
Apple Podcasts.
Yes. Mallrats, a Star Wars podcast on both.
And for those of you not listening on Spotify, you can find us on Spotify as well. Got to cover all the bases.
Ew.
But really, you only got to go to like one of the places.
Just Google us.
Just find it.
You'll find us somewhere.
Hopefully.
Very good. Well, thank you for all that you do, Kat.
Thank
You're
you,
very
Kat.
You did a wonderful job getting our footprint out into the world and spreading the Star Wars love. So thank you
Good.
very much.
You're very welcome.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been another Mandalorian Rewatch. Again, thanks for listening. Tune in next time where we cover episodes 5 and 6. And then the episode after that, we'll be done with the first season. So thanks again for listening. I'm Bob.
I'm Nolan.
I'm Kat.
Hey, take care.
Thank you.